The Artemis 3 mission and those beyond should be canceled, and we should start again, proceeding with all deliberate speed. We have lost a lot of time. We may or may not be able to return to the moon before the Chinese execute their own first landing. Or we may.
1. The moon clock is ticking, and SpaceX knows it. NASA doesn't have the luxury of moving slow anymore. China has openly announced its plan to land astronauts on the moon before 2030, and that changed everything. SpaceX's Starship suddenly isn't just a rocket, it's America's shortcut. The lunar version of Starship is now the single most critical piece of Artemis 3. No Starship, no landing.
It's always important to explain the why of things, and the why of Starship is that we want to be a multi-planet species to extend consciousness beyond Earth, I think for two main reasons. One is to ensure the long-term survival and prosperity of life as we know it in consciousness, which if we are a multi-planet species and ultimately a multi-stellar species out there among the stars, the probability of survival is much, much longer. That's kind of the, defensive aspect or life insurance for life collectively. But then there also need to be things that are inspiring and exciting and that give you reason to live. Life cannot just be about solving one tragic problem after another.
That's why SpaceX quietly shifted strategy. Instead of chasing perfection, they started chasing speed. Think of it like a school exam. You don't aim for a PhD answer, you aim to pass first. Starship's moon plan is no longer about elegance. It's about beating the clock, even if that means breaking their own rules.
We have liftoff. Go Super Heavy. Go Starship. Thanks for all the historic flights, Pad 1.
Vehicles pitching downrange. Booster Raptor chamber pressure nominal.
Booster and ship, nominal power and telemetry.
2. Why refueling in space is the biggest gamble ever. Starship is 120 meters tall. That's about as high as a 40-story building. It carries nearly 4,500 metric tons of fuel, but most of that fuel is burned just escaping Earth's gravity. To reach the moon, Starship must refuel in orbit. This has never been done before at this scale. SpaceX's plan is simple to explain, hard to execute. Launch multiple tanker Starships, park them in orbit, and use them like flying fuel stations. Imagine refueling a bus, while both vehicles are drifting at 28,000 kilometers per hour. One mistake and the mission ends instantly, but without orbital refueling, Starship can't even reach deep space. Forget the moon. 3. The shocking idea, what if Starship wasn't reusable? SpaceX built its reputation on reusability, but here's the twist. Reusability is slowing them down. A fully reusable Starship needs heat shields, flaps, header tanks, and complex guidance systems. All of that adds weight. More weight means more fuel. More fuel means more tanker launches. Engineers realized something radical. If Starship were expendable for lunar missions, you could remove huge chunks of hardware. No re-entry, no heat tiles, no flaps. The booster still lands, but the upper stage doesn't come back. This single decision could cut tanker launches by up to 50%. It's like throwing away a used oxygen cylinder to save the patient's life. Expensive, but effective. 4. The stubby Starship that changes everything. Here's where things get clever. The full Starship carries engines and fuel it only needs once, for the burn that sends it to the moon. After that, all that hardware becomes dead weight, so SpaceX explored a smaller lunar lander, often called a stubby Starship. This version doesn't perform the moon transfer burn at all. Instead, a separate space tug does that job. Once in lunar orbit, the lander only needs fuel to go down and come back up. Roughly 400 tons of methane and oxygen. Less mass means better balance, easier landing, and a much larger safety margin. Think of it like removing a truck's engine once it's already been towed uphill. 5. The Star Kicker, SpaceX's most aggressive shortcut. This is where the plan turns almost insane. SpaceX engineers imagined a stripped-down Starship with no nose cone, no cargo bay, just engines and fuel. They call it the Star Kicker. Its only job is to act like a massive in-space booster. The Lunar Starship docks on top of it in orbit. Then the Star Kicker fires everything it has in one brutal push toward the moon. After that, it's discarded. No landing, no reuse, just raw force. It's like strapping an extra rocket under a spacecraft after launch. This approach slashes mission complexity and time, exactly what NASA needs if it wants boots on lunar soil before China. 6. Docking two giants while burning toward the moon. This is one of the most dangerous moments in SpaceX's entire moon plan. When the stubby Starship connects with a lunar tug or Star Kicker, they stop being two rockets and become one flying machine. Imagine two metal towers, each nearly 100 meters tall, locked together in space while engines fire at full power for several minutes. This has never been done before. The docking system must handle extreme vibration, fuel movement, and thrust forces at the same time. A simple example, it's like welding two loaded trucks together and driving them full speed uphill. One weak joint and everything fails. 7. Orbital refueling, the 30-minute miracle. Orbital refueling sounds like science fiction, but SpaceX reduced it to basic physics. Two starships dock side by side in orbit, then they apply a tiny push, only a few centimeters per second. This gentle motion forces the liquid fuel to settle at the bottom of the tanks, just like shaking a bottle, so liquid moves downward. Pressure inside the tanks then pushes fuel across, with no pumps at all. The entire refueling process can finish in under 30 minutes. That speed is critical. China doesn't yet have anything this fast or reusable. 8. Why Blue Origin's moon plan still feels slow. Blue Origin's Blue Moon lander is not a bad design, but it follows a very traditional approach. It uses liquid hydrogen, which is extremely hard to store in space because it boils easily. This forces Blue Origin to depend on multiple tanker launches, extra transport stages, and more complex timing. That means higher risk and slower execution. China benefits from centralized decision-making with fewer delays. SpaceX's advantage is simplicity. One vehicle family, one fuel type, and fewer moving parts. In a moon race, simple systems usually win before perfect ones. 9. The political truth. China might win the first flag. Even inside NASA, many quietly admit this possibility. China may land humans on the moon first. The US has better technology, but it also has political delays. Budgets, contractors, and congressional approvals slow everything down. But history shows that the first flag doesn't always matter most. What matters is staying power. SpaceX's Starship could fly to the moon repeatedly, deliver cargo, build habitats, and return crews again and again. That creates dominance. It's like sports. Scoring first looks good, but winning the season matters far more. 10. Elon Musk's silent signal. One ship will do it all. Elon Musk hasn't openly announced a simplified moon plan, but his message is clear. Starship is meant to handle the entire mission alone. No gateway station, no complex transfers. One ship leaves Earth, goes to the moon, lands, and returns. This sounds risky, but it saves enormous time. Starship engines are already being mass-produced. Factories are running non-stop, and every test flight feeds data into the next version. China does not yet have this rapid iteration cycle. That speed advantage is SpaceX's real weapon. 11. Starship as a moon truck, not just a lander. Starship is not being built only as a moon taxi. It is designed to work like a heavy-duty space truck. Once refueling becomes routine, Starship can carry habitats, power systems, rovers, and even fuel production equipment to the lunar surface. This is how permanent presence begins. Think of it like building a city. First roads, then buildings, then supplies. China's lander concepts focus more on short missions. Starship focuses on logistics, and logistics, not flags, decide who truly controls long-term space operations. 12. Why speed beats perfection in the moon race. SpaceX's philosophy is not to wait for perfection. It is to move fast, test, fail, and improve. Every Starship launch adds real-world data that no simulation can match. China moves carefully and quietly, but SpaceX moves loudly and rapidly. In a race where timelines matter more than elegance, speed becomes the deciding factor. The moon is not won by the cleanest blueprint. It is won by the system that flies first, flies often, and learns the fastest. The new moon race isn't about who lands first, it's about who stays. Speed, simplicity, and non-stop testing may let SpaceX's Starship reach the moon before China can react. If this breakdown helped you see the moon race more clearly, don't forget to subscribe. More deep, simple explanations are coming. Hit subscribe and stay ahead.